Well, good evening, everyone. Let's get right into it. We're going to do some Monster Train. Stepping back through the Covenant ladder, we've taken a little bit of a break to unlock some card backs doing our daily challenges, but now that those are done, we're going to do a little bit more of Covenant until we decide to go do our Hell Rush wins as well. But let's get right into it. Covenant rank 15, let's go. We are given a Melting Remnant Umbra deck with a Dripfall and a Wicked Blaze already. Wicked Blaze is a nice one. Gives us an ability to bring back somebody from the dead and applies extra damage to them, so that is fantastic. We also have our big boy Rector Flicker going in the mid lane. Looking at Seraph the Diligent taking away our spells, but nothing else is really surprising here. Let's get an upgrade. Okay, we got a Burnout 3 and a Resolve Reform 2. I would like to try a Burnout deck here, so let's see how that goes. Let's get a big 50-50 creature here. Let's see how we can do it. Getting Rage seems super nice. Getting damage on floors as people step away also seems nice because we don't really have to worry too much yet about Harvest. Let's just do that. Alright, enemy units do more damage isn't gonna matter even a tiny bit when we have a guy that does 50 damage per hit and can take 50 of those hits as well. Fantastic. Even we can do this, and that means that we got a little extra bonus here. Let's put a Train Steward up top, and then we'll just put some extra damage down here. Alright, no problem. We're moving on with the first little bit here. Obviously, he's going to go down in one extra round, so we don't really need to apply Immortal Trade, but what we can do is try to buff him up for later. So we're going to spend all our energy trying to get something for buffing. There we go, and we will have tons and tons of energy next turn that we probably won't know what to do with. Okay, big hits. That guy's going to die, and we are real hopeful that our last hand has Wicked Blaze, and then we will win comfortably, and if not, we'll just win on the next round. No big deal. Let's go ahead and get a Train Steward in here just for good measure. Might as well spend that juicy energy that we got. And we'll just kind of fill out some things here and there. Okay. Off we go. We didn't get it. That's fine. We'll get it next round. Let's go ahead and put these things in play in a way that gives us as many rounds of damage as we can just to push our luck a little bit. And the last card in the deck, Wicked Blaze, is here to save us eventually. Here we go. Barely enough energy to play it, but no big deal. We got a 69-59. Nice. One hit. Alright, a little less overall score because we only got a 2-turn boss rush, but we don't really care too much about score. We care about winning. We can apply stealth to things. It doesn't seem too terribly useful, but we can make things explode. Now, the thing about things exploding is we don't really have an engine yet to get Wicked Blaze running, so we don't have like holdover on it or anything like that, so we can't get it every turn. We also already have Drip Falls, so there's no point in taking another one of those. I am very, very strongly considering and have just clicked the skip button. These are all kind of garbage for us as well, with the possible exception of the Rage 3 Ember Drain 2. We could possibly use that to put it on like dregs on the turn before they die, just to give some extra energy, but we don't really have anything to spend the energy on, so I'm kind of on that also. Hey, let's get some actual units in our deck. Crucible Collector, Wickless Tycoon, and Overgorger are all good in their own right. Let's talk through it real quickly, trying to keep our overall run short here, but still stopping at the important points. This is one of them. So let's look here at Overgorger. So what Overgorger does is it starts off as a 0-15. However, every time you feed him, he gets +2 permanently in addition to whatever else he gets. So if you give him the morsel that grants +4 damage, then he actually gets +6 on that particular eat. Obviously, the 4 damage goes away for the next battle, but he does keep the 2 for the next battle. So by the end, if you pick him up early, you can actually have somebody that's sitting around a 60-15 just on the drop. And at that point, you don't really have to feed him anymore. You can just kind of like let him sit in the background and do stuff. So he's really good. Crucible Collector is really good as a front line. And Wickless Tycoon gives you money. So money's always, you know, pretty decent. Let's go ahead and pick up the Overgorger. I feel like we're a little shy on damage. And we have a tank in our front line Rector Flicker. And we might even be able to pick up an Umber Banner to feed him with. And yay, verily, we got a Morsel Master that'll kind of double up the number of units that we create. Cool. We can get Endless, we can get Burnout. Burnout doesn't seem too terribly useful on anything that we have right now. Endless does. Being able to put Endless on an Overgorger means that we can kind of cycle him back through. That being said, I think I might rather actually resurrect him. Well, no, let's Endless him so that he doesn't burn himself out. That seems smart. We'll go ahead and put Damage Shield 3 on our Morsel Master just so that it doesn't blow up to backline sweeps. And we can get rid of a Train Steward. We really want to kind of save one of our spots for multi-strike on the Overgorger, so that's why we didn't do anything there. Getting units everywhere is a little bit concerning because we are going to take damage. Ooh, we may not, because when they go up a floor, they're going to take 2 damage, and we have outplayed ourselves and the game. No problem. Checkmate to those guys. Let's get rid of a Train Steward. Nobody likes him anyway. Let's go ahead and Dripfall one of these guys just in case. Hey, he moved, he took damage. Yep, those guys die, lots of guys die. Everybody dies. We are real happy about that. In fact, we can even Dripfall that, and it dies. That's totally unnecessary, but that's fine. We're going to put him out. And keep on doing the thing. Okay, let's get ourselves some Shade Splitters, feed this guy so that he's a little bit more damaging next time around. And other than that, we are pretty much on our way to victory, hoping that we get our thing in the next 2 turns, but otherwise, we're kind of still okay. Okay, so we'll put this in front. We can soak a couple of hits there. And we'll put these guys, you know what, let's go ahead and cast our Shade Splitter. We will go ahead and put it here to feed that and make it do more damage. And I think let's just try to get in a little bit of extra damage here. Alright, very good, very good. Just rolling along here. We absolutely have the possibility, by the way, of not getting ourselves the Resurrection next turn. We have about a 50% chance, plus or minus. So we are just going to try to do as much as we can to beef up our ability to deal damage, understanding that it may or may not happen. Okay, we got it, so we've been bailed out by the game. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and put that there, and we win pretty comfortably. So we got, I think, 4 or 5 eats in there, so he should have 10 damage now going into the next fight. We're going to pick up a Molded, so we have an extra special way to get stuff back. Don't really need any of this except maybe a Mind Collapse, but I don't think these damages really is too special when we've got the Jack Strips for now. Let's look for a slightly better damage spread that fits our comp. Let's get another unit. We're pretty shy on units that we actually like. And of course we want to try to find multi-strike. Wickless Baron seems like a fantastic option for losing units constantly, like what we seem to be doing. Multi-strike seems like exactly what we just talked about getting on Overgorger. Very good. And we can put 25 health on Wickless Baron. And now he's a little tankier. We can also do something like making this guy a little bigger, and that makes us feel slightly less bad about having him. No big deal either way. We've won with both of these now, so I'm not really convinced that we need either of them, so I'm just going to say we'll pick up this one because it's 0 cost and gives us another thing to have Seraph eat. Okay, moving right along, we have ourselves Daedalus. He is moving some things around with Damage Shield. Don't think anybody cares about that too much. That being said, I think we can put Wickless Baron and this guy right here and start our engines. Point of fact, I think if we move this down there, okay, that takes care of that, and then eventually it'll die, that's fine. No problem, we'll put that up there so that when we get our other guy, he can eat it. And sure enough, there we go. And there we go. Nothing to eat yet, no problem. Don't even really want to put Immortal Trait out here, I don't think it matters. Yeah, unfortunately the fact that those things lived long enough meant that we will have to deal with it at some point up there, but that's fine. Okay, let's go ahead and give him some stats. Stats seem fine. These guys are going to die regardless, so that's fine. Let's just eat. And we'll put a Train Steward and a couple of these guys out just so that kill this guy before he gets up there, and then our Overgorger has an extra turn of just sort of hanging out, chomping on whatever it is that we're feeding him. Okay, no problem. Let's feed him a bunch of these guys. We can even, throw this down and do days there, so it just kind of sits there, no problem. And we'll put this guy in front so he can kind of tank for us. We'll put this guy in front so he can kind of tank for us. Just the regular things you would want to do anyway on this kind of run. Let's get our Wicked Blaze back just in time. One stage left. That guy's dead, but no problem. What we can actually do is set this guy right up here, and we can drip fall him. He is technically stunned this round, but it doesn't matter because he will hit things next round, and this guy has a ton of health. We're okay with that. Let's put a little bit of damage sitting here on the boss. Sorry, sitting on the guy behind the boss. That guy's dead to our Overgorger. Let's see if we can feed him just a little bit more. Boom. That guy's taking a whole bunch of damage. Let's see if we can make that more. We win. Very good. He's eating as much as possible. We're done. No point in playing the rest of this out. Let's be a little bit more efficient with our time. Very good. We've got a Remnant Pact. We can play Endless to something if we so choose. We can put a Shrouded Spike on something if we so choose. We can get a bunch of extra energy if we want. I think putting Endless on the Wickless Baron seems like a good idea, so let's go ahead and pick that up, see if we can win with it. And at that point, we've got kind of 2 floors done. We've got this floor being a thing, and then we've got Rector Flicker plus Wickless Baron being kind of a thing. We could add a Paraffin Thug to that just to hit stuff. We could add a Lady of the House in the middle just to kind of sit there and tank for us. I like the idea of a little bit more money generation, getting ourselves a little bit more moolah to play with. Let's get ourselves some more space. We are highly short on that and not too short on anything else. Getting rid of things as usual seems to be our port of call. Get rid of some train stewards. Notice that the things we're feeding our Overgorger aren't terribly good. We're only using Shade Splitters, and those are not great, but that's okay. Because we are going to get none of this garbage. Okay, this. Actually, I think we might take another Morsel Master just to feed the top floor. We can double feed it. Yeah. Seems fine. Plus 10 magic power doesn't do anything. -1 cost seems really good for Wicked Blaze. And then if we take the reroll, we can't really do anything with it anyway, so I think we just purge another Train Steward out of our deck. We don't have to worry about those anymore. Moving on. Burnout 3, bigger, better Rector Flicker. Say that 10 times fast. I don't feel like doing that right now. However, non-boss enemy units getting multi-strike seems just fine. Let's go. This guy in front kills that guy, this guy behind him kills that guy, and we are off to the races. Let's put this up here, and then we can feed our Overgorger when he exists. Good stuff. Overgorger is here. Morsel Master is here. That thing is not doing too hot because it's just going to sit there and, do the thing. So we're a little bit sad about that. That's okay. We can also put this guy back here. That allows us to kill this thing. It does mean, unfortunately, that when we get our harvest guy, he's not going to fit anywhere. Yep, there he is. It's unfortunate, but we kind of did this to ourselves, but we expected it, so at least it doesn't feel as bad as it otherwise would. We can also just kind of wait. Let him sit there, not do anything. So now when we put this guy out, we get 3 of them. So that will be a triple feed every time we cast any single one of those. That's pretty good. Okay, and he's going to go away, so now we can actually worry about, casting the other ones. We made a mistake, but we can probably recover from it, so let's worry about that in a second here. Let's get ourselves a Shade Splitter first. Obviously, that's kind of our highest priority, just to get this guy as big as possible. We can daze this guy so as little damage as possible is coming out. Put this guy in front, and all of a sudden we're kind of doing okay. Alright. We survived it. We're going to take some junk into our hands. We're not real excited about that. But other than that, I don't think we care. Let's go ahead and slap this out there so we don't have to redraw it. Yeah, that happened. Okay. So we can dripfall this guy. Now he's dazed and he's going to get slapped by our Paraffin Thug. That seems like a good idea. So not only do we get the 20 bonus coins from all that, we get to, do other things that are useful. Put the Rector Flicker back out there. Not buffed, but otherwise still useful. He's going to go away in a couple of turns. That seems fine. Go ahead and buff this guy to reasonably crazy levels. And then we actually might want to just let this sit. And not worry too much about, doing any of this nonsense. Our other possibilities are to go ahead and just drop our consumed on this guy and win. But I don't know if we actually will. So that's the... Maybe we just don't need to draw it anymore. Okay, yeah, so he won't be hitting for 2 turns, so this guy just goes away anyway, no problem. Get another Shade Splitter out here. We'll get this guy a few more damage. Yeah, okay. No problem. We take a whole bunch of stuff that we have to deal with, and now we gotta take much damage, which is annoying. Well, we actually don't have to take any damage. We can actually just let all that go through. Cast it, nobody dies, so we can take this out of the equation, and now we can actually use our last one for a Shade Splitter and get ourselves a big eat. If that actually... Oh, no, he's not going to eat. Ah, that's too bad. Oh, that's okay. Pick our combustible wax up. We can pick up a Subsuming Blade. Okay, that's a damage spell worth getting, because we can target things and it gets bigger, and we can also make it cheaper, so all those things are good things. Grovel is a good way for us to get some extra damage on the top floor. It's also a good way for us to kind of save some life here and there. So I think Grovel is probably worth taking here. But that's probably the only morsel spell we really need. I think the rest of our morsels are just sort of feeding the top floor just for grins. We can take the life and upgrade our spells. Our Overgorger is all already maxed. Our Wickless Baron is pretty decent. But Subsuming Blade could really use a -1. And we'd really like to get holdover on something like our Wicked Blaze. Or even on just regular molded, we could do a holdover and it'd be a 0 cost. So those both seem pretty appealing. That being said, this is extra coins. But let's see if we can get an artifact that does some cool stuff for us. Get that. Get this. Units costs 2 less is actually pretty fantastic for us because we didn't take energy here, so now it means we can just sort of always put out our endless units, always put out the units that we care about. Not really have to worry about it there. Let's not put that in there. That seems like a bad idea. But let's go ahead and do a -1 on Grovel. That does seem like a good idea. We will re-roll this nonsense, remove consume from nothing. And we will put another -1 on our Subsuming Blade so that it only costs 1. Okay, so all our spells only cost 1. None of them were upgraded otherwise. We didn't get our holdover. We didn't get double stack. It's fine. That spell shield doesn't matter. Our only damage spell has piercing. So even though we're making decisions fast and loose here, there are good reasons for us to do all of them. This guy has burnout 6 now, so he will last a much, much longer time, and we can actually put endless on him immediately, which actually does a couple of interesting things. One of which is that it means that he will always come back to us when he burns out instead of us having to wait on drawing him, but it also means he's never going to gain any stats, so he will always be an 80-80. That's kind of okay. I would rather just take the sort of guaranteed I'm going to have tons of damage here. Let's go ahead and save ourselves 6 health there. Not a huge damage boost, but it is something. So obviously we're going to just continue our chain here. This guy does not have sweep, so he's only hitting the front line. However, notice our front line only has a few health here. So let's go ahead and drip fall again. Okay, we'll save ourselves that, and we'll go ahead and give this guy another chance to do the thing, and unfortunately Burnout still doesn't have, or sorry, Reform doesn't have anything to get. That is unfortunate sauce. Okay, so these guys are mostly dying when they go up, so I think Wickless Baron here actually makes more sense than it does elsewhere. That being said, we can do some things like, okay, that first 80 damage is going to do a bunch there, so... yeah, it's unfortunate. Okay. let's put a Dreg here. Yeah. And a Paraffin Thug behind it. Maybe we put the Paraffin Thug up here. And go ahead and put this guy here so that we know that it's going to die. He's going to get some boosts. And we actually have somebody to resurrect later. Yeah, so when these guys are going up here, then he's getting the +3/+3, which is what we're kind of aiming for. That's good. Let's go ahead and get our Shade Splitter moving out here. Let's go ahead and get this going out here. That's cool. That's still only 108 damage, so we are going to kick him back to the basics again for the third time, which is, you know, it's a thing we can choose to do. This only does 5 damage for now. What we can do is we can actually put this right here. We can stab our own guy, which, yeah, okay, gives him 10 armor, but then we can actually bring it back stronger. Very good. Okay, and I think we're finally getting to a point where, okay, yeah, that guy's getting pretty huge. This guy is up to 62 times 2, so he's pretty nasty. We can actually give him some damage shield so he's even nastier. Okay, he's going to have lots and lots of lifesteal, which is good. We can put lifesteal on this guy, which is good. We can put even more lifesteal on this guy, which doesn't seem necessary since he's going to burn out in one turn. And we can, I don't know, put a drag here. Sure. At this point, we're just playing cards. All right. Okay, so we've got our drip fall again, so we can save ourselves the embarrassment of losing this guy, and instead drop this one. He's going to take technically no damage because he's got lifesteal. And we can do some other things. Let's try to do some other things. Okay, let's get another drag out here. He's now dead. That's pretty great. And he is getting killed by... Oh, he's getting killed by this one and not that. That's 20 gold lost. Alright, that's okay. Let's get a few extra damage in on him. No problem. We have no more energy to do things. That's okay. Alright. So that got cleaned out pretty nasty. Let's get a Shade Splitter in here just to give this guy something to do. But unfortunately, I think we're kind of dead if it gets up there because he's only got 15 life. So that's unfortunate. Okay. We gotta learn how to play this game real quick. So let's give him some life steal. Let's give him some extra life energy here. We'll put him right there. All of a sudden we are doing most of the damage for that guy, and I think we're actually in pretty decent shape. The reason I say that is because there's an entirely a possibility that we'll get our Grovel, which may allow us to do a couple of interesting things here. Yeah, so the first thing that we can do is we can actually just drip fall this guy. He can't move, and then we just kill him. But we put that on there, and that would have done it too, so, you know. Alright, boom. Got it. Good stuff. Moving on. We haven't taken any damage yet, but obviously we're getting closer and closer to doing that, so we do need to get stronger faster. We can get all your units out, that's not a problem, but getting them out in time is kind of an issue, so we probably need to draw after this, so we can get through our deck a little faster. Wax and Spike seems pretty good. So we're going to do it. Trigger feeding on units with Eaton abilities. That seems decent. So does Ember Cash. That does allow us to do some extra drawing things. Alright, where are we at? We can remove a couple of cards and buy a trinket, which seems pretty cool. We can get some health, energy, or sorry, some health that we don't need, some money that we kind of don't need, and upgrade our spells, which we also kind of don't need. So I guess that makes that decision pretty easy. Alright, what do we not need? First of all, we really don't need our immortal trades to do 2 of them. We probably don't need 5 Shade Splitters. Those dregs seem fine for just getting blown up, so that's good. Let's get rid of one of our Shade Splitters. Now that we have a Grovel, we want to be casting that instead. Now let's go to the concealed caverns. Let's see what we get. Oh boy. Well, how often do we expect to be able to use these kinds of things? I say we probably grab the gift of gratitude. It gets out of our way, and we can probably get somewhere between 80 and 120 gold with it. That's fine. Doesn't really cost us much to do, that. Extinguish abilities doing the second time is cool, but we don't have any extinguish abilities. We have harvest abilities. Friendly units getting +3 is good for Overgorger, technically, and it's good for our morsels. Let's do that. Being able to have our morsels survive seems like kind of a good thing, since they're going to play a pretty important part for us. Morsel Master goes out, Rector Flicker goes out, Paraffin Thug goes out. Now that guy is dead, very good, and this guy goes behind it. Reform doesn't do anything this turn, that's okay. Getting 20 gold always feels good. It's not always something you can do, but it's always something you want to do. We got 80 damage going into this guy, we got 20 damage going into this guy. We can Subsuming Blade the backline unit, that feels fine. We can put this Morsel Master guy out here. That seems fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of this guy. Yeah, that brings him up, but we still get both kills because him having the extra armor still means 80 damage goes in him. 20 damage still kills, so we still get our 20 bonus gold. And then little guy in last goes there, and we take a little less damage on our front line. Okay. Long explanation for not a whole lot of mechanics, but that's fine. Ooh, the Antumbra Morsel would have been really, really cool to be able to put out when we had a big frontline unit, but it's fine. There's our Overgorger. Get some... Actually, our Ember Cache we can cast now, and then wait for it to come back up and maybe get the Gift of Gratitude on top of that. That seems cool. Hey, we can actually get some bonus health on this guy. That seems also very good. You know, honestly, we've already got 4 energy. Get some gold. Let's get some health. Put a drag out. Again, the rest of our deck is kind of just flowing. We're just doing things as we go. We can put a Wickless Baron up here, no problem. We can put this guy back here, no problem. We can go ahead and wax and spike ourselves, probably. I don't think we need to save more health here, so boom, off we go. 89 damage is still going to not quite kill this guy, but he will. Which is good. That's what we want. We got all our units out. I think. We might have one. I think we got one more left, but that's okay. Yeah, we got a drag. This guy needs to take just a little bit more damage. He's taken not quite enough more damage. There's no units left to reform. Let's get a Shade Splitter in here. Let's get another Shade Splitter in here. Ah, nothing good. That's fine. Alright, we get a couple of those guys in there. We get one of those guys in there just to do the thing. And I think we just let the Drip Fall sit. So we probably just make sure that he doesn't do any damage to him. So the unfortunate part is that we lose one guy there. That's okay. He's still got 5 burnout left. That's pretty good. All right. Now we start looking at what do we need to burn through here. This guy not dying is not really a problem. This guy being endless is kind of whatever. This guy is pretty close to dead, so we need to be looking to, how often are we going to get these 2 cards after he's dead? It's like not often, so maybe putting Endless on this guy is a good idea. We can also start putting life drain on things if we need to. 89 damage, 29 damage, cool, so we'll get 20 bonus gold there, that's nice. Let's go ahead and get our Shade Splitter in there for even more bonus damage. We'll take that. Let's move this guy down just for grins, and let's move this guy down, and he can start getting huge. Alright, cool. I think we're probably pretty good here. We might go ahead and do the Immortal Trade here just to start getting some extra health back, since we have 5 more turns. Yeah. That seems pretty good. This is starting to stack up pretty fast. This guy goes away this turn. That's probably okay. It's not necessarily a problem. That's just something we need to note. Cool, cool, cool. Get these things through, no problem. Go ahead and put this in there to get 2 good things. Yep, let's give him some more health. Getting 12 more health is actually pretty good. We can't really kill anything this turn, I don't think. Unless we kill our own guy, which I think we're more than happy to do. Off we go. And then we can replace one of these guys right back. We can even put him out front. There's nobody doing damage. And you can get even more damage off of that. Seems good. Cool. Alright, off we go. We are on to the race portion of the game. Good. Get our Paraffin Thug back. He's going to go away sometime. It's fine. Doing 525 damage isn't a whole lot, but it is something. And we're mostly looking to go absolutely nuts on the top floor, so let's see what we do. Okay. We spent our endless on Rector Flicker, so we expected him to come up first anyway, which he did. Get another 451 damage, once again, all according to the plan. And we can get another 12 health, so we can actually survive a total of 4 hits. He gets 2 for free with the damage shield, and then he'll have over 50 health, which means 2 hits he can soak, and then he would die on the 3rd one, but he's doing 104 times 2, which is more than the 600 health he's going to have left. So we're fine there. Totally fine. And even more than that, we could try to push for a win on this floor, but I'm not as excited to do that, so let's just play it slow and steady. Cool. Then we win pretty comfortably. We can unfortunately not. Can we? Did we actually lose any? No, we didn't lose any of this, so that's fine. Grab one of these guys just because we accidentally already cast the spell, and yeah, it's not quite enough to kill. But we could. Ooh, you know what we can do? We can actually do this just to increase the damage on that thing by 3 one more time. And we'll put him in the background. We still win, no problem. We can even give ourselves an extra turn on top of that, which is fine. So all of this is meaningless. We won. Well, it's not entirely meaning. Actually, getting 3 more damage on our piercing attack was pretty good. Remnant Pact is fine. Wretch is fine. Devourer of Death is fine. None of those things are exciting. Yeah. I don't know. Kind of feel like we're looking at mostly just trying to buff the top floor and then thinning out the crowds by the time we get there. So a second Remnant Pact does what? We basically just put that on our one on our Rector Flicker and one on the Wickless Baron. Not real exciting. You take a Devourer of Death, it's something else to burn through. Seems fine. It also has Harvest. It doesn't do much except it sits out front and eventually blows up. We haven't won with it yet. Seems like an interesting time to try it. And obviously I think we had already talked about getting more draw, so let's just do that. Alright, where are we kind of in our... what do we want to do with our lives? I think because we don't care about getting rid of too many more things, because Seraph's going to eat these Shade Slitters anyway, probably want to go ahead and upgrade our units, get a little bit more money, and most importantly, get a free artifact. Boy, I don't like the Infused Mallet a whole lot here, but it is a little bit more appealing than just taking energy on the first turn. And we don't need the money either, so we'll just take that. It's fine. Getting a large stone is interesting. I don't know that we want it, but we can. We could do Paraffin Thug with a large stone. The only problem with a large stone is basically that you can't fit as many things on that same floor. Strength Stone is going to be good for our Paraffin Thug. Let's go ahead and do that. And we could do a large stone on... we don't on one of our dregs. Just make a second floor dreg that is kind of his own tank. Seems awkward. That's fine. We'll have a 2951 on one of these. Seems like a thing we can do. We'll have damage shield 3 on that guy, just so we can have it. And endless on this guy, and we can just always put it on the other guy. Sure. +5/+10 seems really nice for Paraffin Thug, just so that, again, he can stay alive a little bit longer, and we'll just put +10 on, I don't know, let's put it on him. Doesn't really matter too much. Kind of coasting through this. I think we've got a pretty good recipe for success. 145, 145 seems like a fantastic unit to have Burnout 6 on. More Spell Shield on units that we don't care about them having Spell Shield on, so sure. First turn Overgorger always feels good. Rector Flicker seems fine. Dreg seems fine. Don't think we need to do any of this, but we can go ahead and make him dazed. Probably just let our Immortal trade happen. Or go by, sorry. Alright, so Wickless Baron is here. That guy having an existence of any type is a little bit of an affront to nature here, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and give this guy more health because he needs it badly, 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 badly. Nobody to reform quite yet. Boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. So does Dreg go here, or does Dreg go here? Okay, but he's going to take that guy out, and he's going to take that guy out. So we could technically take all three of them out, leaving nobody for this guy to hit. We don't have a way to do anything to the Collector, so it's just lost to us. We don't care. Let's put this out front so it dies, and we can put this behind him to do some extra damage here. Kind of seems like a reasonable thing to do, and we'll give ourselves some extra energy next turn. Sure! Okay. Yeah, that guy's dead, no problem. These guys go in. Yay! That guy's dead real hard. Seems nice. Let's go ahead and give ourselves something to feed on. I like getting bigger. Bigger is good. Bigger is better. And then I think we just still want to stack all of this nonsense as much as possible. Let's get this guy out here. He'll die. He'll get buffed. And more than anything, I'm more concerned about getting the burnout count on this guy. Good. Good, 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 good. Okay. So those go away. This guy can go back here to finally get some slay bonuses. We're a little short on that front, but that's fine. This guy going up there is fine. This guy taking a hit is fine. And obviously getting a a Shade Splitter there is fine. Kind of whatever. I'm also, maybe I'm thinking of moving that guy down. That might be nice. Let's move this guy down and he'll get a whole bunch of slay bonuses here. That seems nice. Cool. Oh, yeah. That's nice. Okay. Not a whole lot we can do at this point other than put the Devourer of Death here. But that's fine. This thing's already dead. That's super good. He's already endless, so that's super good. Let's keep feeding him. That seems super good. We don't really want to descend and daze it for for one turn because that doesn't change anything. We could descend this thing though, and that gives an extra +3/+3 there. We can Wicked Blaze one of these guys back and look to bring him down later, and obviously it would have been nice to cast those, but we don't have the energy for it. But we can look to redraw. Like bastard. Okay, he's got 5 turns left, but he also has no energy, or no health. I don't know if this will be enough to save him, but it's worth trying. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. It's worth trying, but it's probably not going to work. We can also Dripfall this guy down just to blow things up. We can Shade Splitter twice just because we have the energy to do it, and this gives us 1 of our energy back next turn too, which is cool. Okay, so we don't get the ability to save this guy, I don't think, because even if we put another Grovel on him, that's still only 1 more damage shield. Yeah. So what we can look to do is the future. So Grovel up here. Oh yeah, nice. That +5/+5 is going to look real good when it's triplicated. Let's get some stuff here. We can remold one of these guys here. Let's see. This guy is not endless. This guy is, so we can put that out here. That's fine, because obviously this guy going away means that there will be 2 slots left for us to put the Wickless Baron back in play. Okay, okay. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Okay. Cool. So Wickless Baron can come out, no problem. We can put Endless on a unit that we should choose. Don't know that we choose to do so, but we could. We can put Immortal Trait on this guy. We can Wicked Blaze somebody. That seems fine. We can cast everything but one thing, so let's cast Subsuming Blade. Oh boy, we can put Rector Flicker back out. We actually have space for that. That seems cool. That seems cool. So now we win on the top floor, or the mid floor. We can't get this guy to bring anybody else out, so let's go ahead and take that out, just so that we have it, and then we could drip fall this down as well, just to ensure our victory. Alright, good. No problem. Oh, good stuff. Photoberry is really interesting here because we can keep putting it in front of our Wickless Baron, but I think we're already doing pretty well on stuff like that. It is free damage soak though, so I do like that. Not feeling these guys. Alright, so we probably want trinkets most of all, and we don't need health. And then after that, we probably want to upgrade spells, maybe? Don't think it matters. We can take this, get rid of 2 more morsels if we want to. Do we want to upgrade any of our units with Endless? Probably not. This one is 0, and he blows up with soul counts, but only if other things die first, so that's kind of meh. I think having these things do anything other than maybe just a little bit of damage is kind of also meh. Let's see what trinkets are available. That seems obvious. Pyre getting 15 is not going to do anything for us. Friendly unit enters with lifesteal 2. This is hilarious on the last floor where money doesn't matter anymore. Friendly units entering with lifesteal 2 seems fine. When you play your 20th morsel of the battle, deal 150 damage. That seems good. Only because we're triplicating our morsels. So now we don't get rid of morsels. Now I think we just get rid of a drag or 2. Maybe like one of those guys, and shoot, do we just get rid of 2 dregs? Maybe. They're kind of nice to blow up. I don't know that we really need to get rid of a whole lot. Well, you know what? Honestly, we don't need as many dregs because we've got the Votivary now to handle some of this stuff. So let's add plus 25 to the Devourer of Death. He can soak a little bit more before he blows up. And I think at that point we're done. We could put Endless on this guy just to spend the money, but let's just take the 150 points and roll with it. See what we do. Last boss, let's go. Overall, clocking in pretty well on this run, but it was also fairly easy for us. Okay. Paraffin Thug doesn't matter for getting money anymore. Now he just matters for killing things. How we probably want to line this up is having something available on the top floor to punch little guys when they come up. But I think we maybe just soak that for a turn and go, well, you know, it's too bad. So maybe we just go ahead and Rector Flicker, Paraffin Thug, Devourer Dreg. Let's keep our energy for a turn or 2. So I don't think putting Immortal Trait on yet is quite what we need to do. He's already got 2 lifesteal to start with, so we can always bring it back later. Okay. Yep, so this is what we were talking about. There are going to be things happening, but we can also just do this. So that's fine. Put that there. We can put this guy here. These 2 guys can now go up here, right? And then we can start putting things like Grovel here. Put this here. Put this here. Okay, so we're up to 5 out of 20. That's good. Okay, killing some stuff, killing some stuff. All in the name of eventually getting to a place where we can kill everything all the time. That dying is good for him. Those things dying is good for everybody else. Him being on this floor means we can put the big boy drag on the bottom. Which is probably what we want to do anyway. Okay, those things are going to die, and I think if we daze this guy, he will still move up, but he won't give us crap in our deck, which is always nice. And again, nice is all we really care about here. Let's go ahead and put out our Votivary first. Let's go ahead and get rid of a Shade Splitter, knowing that we want to make our deck a little bit thinner as we move on here. We still have 2 energies, so we can cast 2 out of 3 things here. I think we go ahead and do one of those here, and the other one is probably a Drip Fall on this guy, actually. And the reason being is that gives another kill. Even it gives a kill here to Votivary, and it gives a kill on the Lightwing, and we're going to soak up to 9 souls there. That's pretty good. We can also put this guy out here for next turn. Good, we got our Endless. We can now pretty much always apply that to this guy. I think we're always pretty happy to do that. We're always pretty happy to do that. And I believe we're always pretty happy to go ahead and Wax and Spike down here, but I could be wrong. I think I'm wrong. I think I have to do a Shade Splitter here instead. Do we want the damage? I don't think so. I think we want the basically like soak, and then 2 of those things come back to us. That's fine. We can apply 4 burnout down here. He's endless already, so I don't care. And all that does is it makes, well, that's fine. Let's just get rid of our card. Yeah. Okay, so we've got 5 to work with. Obviously getting rid of these first is good. Obviously putting our Votivary out is fine. We don't really have a way to deal with these guys, which is kind of annoying. What we can look to do is soak, because we really only need to soak 2 hits. So as long as we can soak more than 12 damage, we're okay. We can do that by either casting another Shade Splitter and putting it up there. We can do that by, oh hey, we can put an Immortal Trade down here now, that looks good. We can look to see what Wicked Blaze and Molded can bring back for us. So that's only going to bring back 11 health worth of man. And this one's only, you know, still also 11 health. So what we have to do in order to soak at least 2 hits is, unfortunately, soak all 3 hits. But that does save our Overgorger from taking any damage, so that's fine. Let's look to put some more dregs in play and do a bunch more damage to this guy and see what we can get out of it. Okay, so we took 10 damage. That's pretty acceptable, actually. Obviously getting these things out of the way is kind of important. Obviously getting this guy out of the way seems kind of important. And then we just kind of have a choice of how we want to do things. Let's go ahead and grovel here. That seems good. Let's give him a whole bunch more health. That seems amazing. Let's just not take more damage. I think we're already kind of at the point where we're looking at score rather than win percentage. We're in pretty good shape. Okay, good. That's our first spell cast, which is nice. Subsuming Blade can be used here. Gives another harvest bonus and another soul here. These guys are both dead there, that's good. We can soak pretty nicely. Oh, goodness. What a perfect time for Shadow Box to go off. Ladies and gentlemen, we forgot that we bought that, and that is awesome. Also, our Voda very quietly has just been taking so much damage and dying all the time that picking up that resin block has made it a 50 damage attacker, which is pretty funny. These guys are all going to blow up before they do much, and we don't care even a little bit about that. So Vodavari is going to go out here. And then, honestly, I think Rector Flicker is probably just going to sit right in front of the Wickless Baron due to the fact that he's endless rather than anything else. And we can set up just in case to make sure Overgorger gets a couple of hits if he absolutely has to. We are in good shape, not amazing shape, but we are in good shape. But this thing dying actually was going to do 19 times 15, which is 285 damage. So literally half the damage that this thing is taking is just from this thing going down, which is incredible. We can also save. Actually, if we put him here, then she does a ton of damage and we just win. So, like, we're doing that. And then obviously everything else is a victory lap, so we'll stop doing things. Oh, I could have moved, I could have dropped this guy down one because he's endless anyway. It's okay, we win. No problem, GG. Quick decision making, no problem. Seraph eating our spells really didn't matter when we had the ability to kind of spam some pre-consume spells anyway. We obviously had our Refined Ember that was consumed. We had a couple of other consume spells, and then the extra shade splitters were easy fodder for just being able to throw those away and still be able to draw things back again like Grovel. So easy peasy. Notice Merchant Purge costing 20% more. That is going to be something we're going to have to watch going forward. Going from 50 to 60 doesn't seem like a big deal, but as soon as you start tacking on the fact that it goes up by 25 every time, now it's going up by more than that, so by the time it gets to 100, now it's 120, and so forth. This will cost a fair bit more gold as you go up in rank, and it's not quite as easy to thin your deck out, plus the game gives you more cards in your starting deck as we go up. So eventually it's going to get to the point where, kind of like this deck, you've still got a bunch of your starting cards left going into the Seraph fight, and it's no longer like the, oh, we trimmed down our deck to like these 5 cards that we want to play all the time. It's going to be like, you're going to have a couple of cards in there that you don't care about, but it's fine. Okay, that is 10 cards golded, and a Melting Remnant win. Hopefully everyone learned something in this slightly shorter run, and if you didn't learn anything, hopefully at least you had fun. Till next time, everybody, we will catch you on the next run. GG.